Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. The NBA bit has returned. Apologies for the day off yesterday. It was an unplanned day off. Our little fluffernutter that's laying over there, little Bandino, injured himself. I was trying to take him out for a walk before the NBA bit started yesterday. Landed a little funky, and honestly couldn't tell what was going on. The guy didn't go like the last time I had taken him out, I think was probably like 8 p.m. The night before. Did not go out until 10 o'clock last night. So was real concerned. He wouldn't let me pick him up. It was a little touch and go there, but I think it was a sprain. I think it was just an old man sprain. He seems to be a little springy this morning. But anyways, I was just concerned it was going to have to be a little bit more serious. Had to keep an eye on it. So apologies for no bit, but that's okay. We got plenty to talk about today. More importantly, who do we got in the chat? We got Sneeps up in here. Yeah, Common Man, we will talk about that. We got Matic Auto here. That's right, Jump Shoot. That is right, Jump Shoot. We took down the daily limited contest yesterday in SORARE MLB. So towards the end of the show, we'll do a little tier. We get a star. We win a star card. So we'll do a little we'll do a reveal here. And I think we can also do some crafting. So we'll do that a little bit later. Yeah, R.I.P. Val Kilmer. Batman forever, live on forever. Snoopaloop, happy National Ferret Day. We got Patty Coyne, fresh off Hawaii. Regulators here, yeah, happy. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we just skipped April Fool's Day yesterday. That's what we did. But anyways, we got some fun stuff today. Just a quick little programming note. So the NBA bit will be back tomorrow. We got a new episode of Hoop Sense that should drop tomorrow. We're recording that this afternoon. And then I had mentioned earlier in the week for you SORARE MLB folk that we would be doing the shows on Sunday and Wednesday. I'm a little dumb. I thought Locke was on Thursdays for MLB, so I was trying to do it the night before. So we'll do the SORARE MLB show tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow. So apologies for the schedule mix-up, mishap. But let's, I think that's it. And then, yeah, Friday, live before Lock again. It's a busy week today, guys. Busy week today. It's a busy week. Even with the day off yesterday, I feel a little flustered. I've had a lot of meetings. I feel a little flusteroony, so excited to get back to our normal scheduled programming, and let's do it now. We got to start with the chef. Curry comes out and just goes bonkers last night, huh? I don't know how many people were paying attention to this, and I think like a lot of the conversation this morning is probably going to be about the later game, because the later game was even crazier. But last night the chef was cooking, and the Warriors now putting themselves in a fun little spot here as we get down the stretch of the playoff run. Warriors win this one 134-125. Let's look at this Steph line, all right? He goes 8 for 8 from the line. Knocks down 12 triples last night and on only 20 attempts. It's not like he was like 12 for 40, 12 for 20. Finishes the game, 52 points, 10 boards, 8 dimes, and 5 steals only on 2 turnovers. Just like really, really impressive stuff from Steph. I do want to give Memphis a little bit of credit here. Memphis, who is going to be in real trouble this next couple of weeks, I think, as we get ready to get into the playoffs. But they gave up 45 points in the first quarter. They were down 13, and then they slowly battled back, winning both the second and third quarter by 5 and 8 points, making it a tight game going into the fourth. And then the Warriors' defense showed up in the fourth quarter, holding them just to 22. Jimmy Butler, 27, 6, and 4 in this game. Nothing really from anybody else. Well, Draymond had a triple-double. I shouldn't say nothing. Draymond, 13, 10, and 12, also with 2 steals and a block. The Memphis side of stuff, it was Ja who kind of led the charge. Ja went 14 for 22 from the field. Ja seems to be the biggest beneficiary from Taylor Jenkins no longer being there. This is a couple of offensive performances in a row where he stood out. He had 36 and 6 in this game. Triple J with 22, 7 and 5. 7 and 1, excuse me. And then Bain had 19 and 5. Santi Aldama with 18 and 6 off the bench. I don't know if you guys saw the Triple J comment after the Celtics loss. So the Celtics beat the Grizzlies on Monday night. Triple J after the game said it could be worse. We could be homeless, which is just like, yeah, that is true. That is true. It could be worse. You could be homeless, Triple J. I don't know if that was like on the realm of possibilities in the last couple of years, like, I don't know how close he was to that. So to compare it to like, that's like, yeah, it could be worse. I'm only 5'7". It could be worse. I could be 1 foot 4, Not really. Probably something that was in the realm of possibilities. But yeah, Triple J, you're absolutely right. Could be worse. You could be homeless. Anyway, speaking of homeless, the Memphis Grizzlies all might be at home here in a couple of weeks. They are slipping and sliding down the Western Conference, but a good win for Golden State. We will look up the standings here in a little bit after we get through some of last night's stuff. But Golden State, it's so funny. I was mentioning this in some DMs this morning. I like the tanking stuff has been brutal, right? We have like 9 teams actively trying not to win basketball games. The Toronto Raptors is like, what if everybody in the country of Canada played 14 to 17 minutes for us tonight? You've got the Wizards rolling out guys that we've never heard of before. You've got the Utah Jazz just getting fined hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? All that stuff. However, it is fun that like 2 through 8, I mean, honestly, 2 through 10 right now in the Western Conference is just like up for grabs. So it is funny for it to be just that disgusting of like Wizards Hornets tonight. And then to like see how competitive some of the West is. Maybe if the East was a little bit more spicy, then we'd be having more fun. I don't know. But anyways, great stuff for Golden State. They continue to play some second half basketball, second half of the season basketball that has really propelled them into I think a series I don't know if contenders are they're a threat. They're a threat in the Western Conference for sure. Let's stay in the Western Conference and let's go. Let's actually start with the highlight here. Let's start with the Russell Westbrook stuff down the stretch, and we'll have a couple of clips that we can show. Let me pull up Underdog. But this game, I was pretty sleepy last night, guys. I was pretty sleepy, so I was not up for this double overtime thriller between Denver and Minnesota last night. And one thing to just note before we look at the clip, very competitive game. For Minnesota, no Dante DiVincenzo, no Naz Reid. I feel like I'm forgetting one other person, but maybe it was just those two. And that was from the brawl between the Timberwolves and the Pistons. And then Jamal Murray also missed last night's game. So they weren't, both teams not really full strength, missing key pieces. But this is how the game ended. We are right now in double overtime. There is 17 seconds left. And one thing I want to point out, too, which I thought was pretty interesting. There was a little bit of I think Chris Finch talked about it after the game. So at the end of regulation, at the end of the first quarter, and at the end of at the end of regulation, at the end of the first overtime and the second overtime, Timberwolves kind of did the same thing every time. They got the ball to Anthony Edwards. A double came. Anthony Edwards got rid of the ball. Randall missed a shot to win it in both regulation and in the first overtime. I think Jaden McDaniels even got a crack at it at the second overtime. So something to pay attention to in late game situations here is, and I'm not even saying Ant made the wrong decision. It just seemed like a lack of creativity from an out of bounds type situation in a close game that they just didn't really. I mean, I guess Randall got decent looks, but I don't know, something to pay attention to. But anyways, here we go. This is the end of the game. 17 seconds left. Denver's up 1. Minnesota's got the ball. Conley to Anthony Edwards. Gordon is there. Us? All right. 2-on-1. Brown, Westbrook. No. All right, hold on. Let's go back to this. So we just saw Russ miss this layup, right? When Russ gets the steal, there's 14 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Shot clock is off in this situation. It's a turnover. 2-on-1. Brown, Westbrook. No. Rebound Alexander Walker. Final seconds. Here we go. Conley the other way. Edwards looks at the clock. Drives. Feeds. Bullets. They got a foul. They got it. Incredible stuff. Russ then goes and collects a foul there. I will say, I think in a perfect world, that foul's probably not called. I don't know that. I don't know how much that impacted the shot. It felt a little ticky tacky in that, I don't know, first quarter, maybe that gets called. Double overtime to win the game. Are we really calling that? But man, Russ had a couple of times, you get that steal, the shot clock is off, 14 seconds left, buddy. You just got to dribble around, man. And I know Russ isn't probably the most consistent free throw shooter, but man, you got to dribble around, get slapped, go to the line, knock them down, extend the game a little bit. But and again, I mean, sometimes you say in those environments, you get a wide open layup, you finish it off, sure. But also, it's not like that was going to make it a 2-possession game. You make that layup, it's still a 1-possession game. And I know it's easy to say after the fact that was in transition. It was a 2-on-1. He probably makes that layup like 95% of the time. But, man, tough way to go down. Shout out Nickeil Alexander-Walker helping out his cousin, making sure he gets that MVP, right? Because let's go look at some of these stat stuff. Actually, the other thing that I wanted to share here, there was 2 other clips I think that I wanted to share from last night's game. I think it was after. Oh, first of all, so there's 1/10 of a second left when Nickeil Alexander-Walker goes to the line. 1/10 of a second left. He knocks down because he gets 3 free throws, right? Knocks them both down. Can we just go look at this? This is incredible. This is incredible right here. Look at what Jokic tries to do. The old volleyball slap. The old volleyball slap right there. Because, again, with 1/10 of a second, you can't catch and shoot. You can only do a little tippy tap, a tip in. And so he gave it maybe the whole full court slap, which would have been, sign up for, you got a kink for some spanking. Yeah, he'd give you one, right? Like a full court slapperoo. Good stuff from him. We'll get into his line here in a second. We need this Ant-Man. Ant-Man, just the best interview out there. Shout out Tom Ziller and Good Morning It's Basketball. He included a clip that I don't have right now. But just Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to be, I believe, like one of the more sought after free agents this offseason. I don't know if it's restricted or unrestricted free agent, but he's about to get paid. And after the game, Ant-Man pulled Nickeil Alexander-Walker into the post-game interview. Basically just, let's get the guy paid, let's get him paid. And I think he probably wants him staying in Minnesota. Also, shout out Nah. We were like 2 years too early on Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but he has really become an important part in that Timberwolves team. He was great. But anyways, let's see. This is Anthony Edwards right after the game.
That might have been the best game of my life, that I've been a part of. Nikola Jokic, bro. Oh my God, he might be the best basketball player I've ever seen, close up. Besides myself, bro, he's incredible, bro. The MVP race is tough, man. I don't know. Better yet, 60. That's crazy.
How did you guys manage just the ups and the downs of it, and how crazy it was?
Who's just hoping he missed?
He's just the best, man. Anthony Edwards is the best. He's so good. Every interview is the best. I love it. Let's actually look at some of like the stat lines from this chaotic double overtime game. You heard Ant-Man say it right there. Joker dropped 60 in this game. Again, no Jamal Murray, so Joker had to do a little bit more. He got to the line 24 times, real SGA energy. 18 for 29 from the field, 6 for 11. So what's that, like just over 50% from 3. Finished the game, 61 points, 10 boards, 10 dimes, 2 steals. And with the amount that he handled the ball against a good defense like the Timberwolves, only 4 turnovers, almost as impressive. I feel like that should have been an 8-turnover game with how long the game was. But anyways, great shit from Joker. I mean, just awesome. Aaron Gordon finished the game with 38 and 5, which is pretty impressive considering he wasn't supposed to go. They brought Russ off the bench last night. I thought that was interesting. They moved Jalen Pickett into the starting rotation. Christian Brown also with a double-double, 18 and 12. But let's get over to the Minnesota side of things because Ant-Man got off to a really slow start, ended up relatively efficient from the field, only going 5 for 15 from 3, but 12 for 25. Just a couple of dimes shy of a triple-double himself. He had 34 points, 10 boards, and 8 dimes. Also had a steal. Regular season Randall, though, 26, 9, and 7. He's been pretty good. Rudy, 19 and 12. Jaden McDaniels gave him 12 and 7. I mentioned Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 5 for 11 from 3. He had 26, 8, and 7. Really good win for Minnesota here. And again, we're talking about Golden State. Same thing with Minnesota. We're going to look at their schedule in a little bit after we get through rest of last night's action. But anyway, awesome game. Sucks that it came down to a whistle. Regulators said with all the legal betting now, these refs have to be more consistent. I have no clue what a walk or a foul are anymore. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen anybody call a walk in forever outside of like the only time I see it is like in the post sometimes. They were a little shuffy. But yeah, it is with the betting stuff. You're right. It does need to be a little bit more consistent, but anyways, this is awesome. And then to my point, like of how many gross basketball games we have, I think it's impossible to fix tanking right now. I mean, obviously these teams are incentivized to lose, to get a better pick. I think as long as we get a couple of these a night or one a night, I mean, you're not going to get a double overtime 60-point triple-double every single night. But as long as we have like one or two marquee games a night to get us through the Raptors, the Wizards, and the Hornets, we'll be okay. We'll be okay because this was good. Regulator says he has a tanking solution. All right. I've heard some good stuff. I like the idea that like after the All-Star break, losses actually count as wins. It almost becomes like a point system. I like that. I like that. All right. Let's get around the league while Regulator types in his tanking solution. Let's see what he's got. What does he have for us? Oh, DJP in the chat. Let's go, DJ Pizzle. All right, let's go to some of the other stuff last night. Let's do Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. No Dame time still. No KD, who's going to miss a week. Devin Booker, I feel like we haven't had a Booker game in quite some time. He dropped 39 last night with 11 dimes of himself. Colin Gillespie, our king, he had 18 and 4. Grayson Allen had 23. Giannis would have been like the player of the night if Jokic didn't do a 60-point triple-double or if Steph didn't drop 12 threes last night. Giannis, 12 for 18 from the field, 37, 11, and 5. Ryan Rollins, listen, Milwaukee, it's dark stuff over there. It's dark times for the Milwaukee Bucks. Ryan Rollins seems like a nice little piece. All right. He's been pretty solid since coming in. He had 23, 5 and 5, 22, 6 and 6 for Brolo. The Coos was pretty bad. He had 12, but much needed win for Milwaukee. They improved to 41 and 34. Phoenix basically playing themselves right out of the play-in. The Bing Bong Boys got a W against the Sixers last night. Sixers, this is the starting five for the Philadelphia 76ers. Honestly, this starting five is so bad, they shouldn't do introductions. Right? They're just like, you know how like, ding, ding, ding. Here we go. Here's your starting five. Philly should just be like, fuck it. Here's who we got. Back to the tanking. Regulator said something simpler. After 3 fines, teams start losing a draft spot. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. I like that. All right. Justin Edwards, Adem Bonabana, Quentin Grimes, Lonnie Walker, the 4th, Ricky Council, the 4th. Our guy Philip Wheeler played some minutes last night. I mean, Quentin Grimes was nice. 8 for 18 for the field, 9 for 10 for the line, 26, 5 and 4, 3 steals. That's it. On the Bing Bong side of stuff. All right. OG Anunoby had 27 points last night, 27, 5 and 5. Mitchell Robinson, double-double, 14 and 14. No, what's his name? Karl Anthony Towns, no Brunson. Can I give you OG Anunoby's last 15 games? Last 15 games, OG's averaging 22, 5 and 3. I mean, listen, this has been a nice stretch for him. I'm usually from the fantasy side of things, never OG. OG's been got himself into a nice rhythm. If this is something that can carry into the postseason when Brunson comes back, if you have a real third threat in OG, I do think that kind of changes the ceiling of the Knicks. I feel like the Knicks are getting out of the first round. And I think that makes them a little bit spicier in the second round. If they can, because we know they're not playing defense, right? Excuse me. We know they're not playing defense, this team. If they can outscore teams, I don't know. Could be fun. Could be fun for them. So anyways, Bing Bong Boys get a W, 105-91. They improved to 48 and 27. You got the Magic and the Spurs last night. Gross, 116-105. Paolo had a solid game, 24 and 10. So did Franzi, 24-7 and 5. KCP, I feel like we haven't talked about KCP having a good shooting night all season long. He finished the game with 7 threes. 7 for 9 from 3, 23 points. Listen, I'm not really scared of the Magic, but I'm happy they're playing better basketball after just a disgusting stretch. They finally starting almost back to 500, but starting to put together some W's. The Spurs, man, it's gross stuff. Biyombo played, 26 minutes. Cool. Harry Barnes gave him 24. I don't know. Castle, 16, 8 and 6. Sure. End the season, please. Raptors and Bulls, again, more gross shit here. 137, 118. Look at these Raptors, right? Scotty plays 24 minutes. Pirtle, 24. Quickly, 24. They even limited Jacoby Walter, the rookie. He was too good. He played 27. I'm not going to read any stats. They don't deserve him. Vucci Main, 22, 10 and 7. Kobe White continues the heater he's on, 28 and 6. And then Giddey was 17, 12 and 7. Also had 3 steals. Bulls, keep trucking along here in Chicago. And then the last game here, Portland and Atlanta. Only thing I'm really going to call out here is Denny Avdia, man. Denny, and if you tuned into Live Before Lock, I told you, they were already going to be shorthanded. It looked like Simons was going to miss. Simons did miss the game. This is an elite matchup for the fantasy side of shit. Look at Denny. 32, 15, and 10. And then Shaden Sharp, 33, 10, and 3. Really good stuff from them. Worst part about this game, I don't know if you guys saw this going around last night. They were doing one of those, like, on the court activities, like in a timeout. In a timeout, they had two fans competing to win probably like a t-shirt and $500 or something. Dude tears his ACL going up for a layup. A guy in the stands tears his ACL. Just awful. I like just the worst, man. I would be embarrassed if I tore my ACL like doing some shit in front of 10 people, let alone like 25,000. Brutal stuff. Anyways, good win for Portland. Good win for Portland. Let's go look at the standings and the schedule here the rest of the way, because I think the West is pretty interesting right now. So with the Nuggets loss, they now are 2 games back from the Rockets for the 2 seed and only a half game lead over the Lakers. But here's the thing. Warriors now winning 3 in a row, with the Grizzlies losing 4 in a row. Warriors leapfrog the Grizz here and are now in the 5 seed. The Timberwolves, I believe, don't have the tiebreak over the Grizzlies, but they do have one more game against Memphis, I think. The Grizzlies now are in the 6 seed, but essentially are in the 7 seed. The Clippers and the Timberwolves are about to catch Memphis here. As you can see, the Clippers are only a half game back too. Memphis is like a few days away from being the 8th seed. If we look at Memphis's upcoming schedule down the stretch here, it's grim. They should get a W. I think they have the Spurs tomorrow night. I think that's right. No. Wait, no, they have Miami. Excuse me. Oh, they've got Miami, which Miami's playing a little bit better here. They got Miami on Thursday, Detroit this weekend with Cade hopefully back so these are all on the road. Miami, Detroit should get the W against Charlotte. Then they get home at Minnesota, at Denver, and then Dallas, who is healthy. Memphis is done. Memphis is going to be an 8 seed, and then who do they beat right now? I guess I would take them over Sacramento, but a healthy Dallas team, I don't know, or healthy-ish Dallas team, I don't know. Let's do Golden State here. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Minnesota. Let's do Minnesota next, because we were just looking at Minnesota potentially catching what is going on here? Hold on. Am I zoomed in too much? Is my computer tweaking? We were looking at Minnesota trying to catch Memphis, but honestly, they can catch Golden State here as well. I mentioned they are just a half game behind the Golden State Warriors and only 2.5 against the Lakers. I will say, with only a handful of games left, it's going to be very difficult to catch a team with 2.5. I'm not going to share the screen for that, but let me just tell you what their upcoming schedule is, as I put it in the Discord here earlier this morning, because I was just like, holy shit, Minnesota's winning out. So Minnesota tomorrow, they're on the road at Brooklyn, on the road against Philly, and then on the road against Milwaukee. But I think they're favored in all 3 of those games, right? Then they're on the road against Memphis, which I think, that could be a evenly matched game. But I think they might still be favored with the way Memphis is playing. And then they close out at home against Brooklyn and Utah. So 2 against Brooklyn, 1 against Philly, 1 against Utah, and then they get Milwaukee and Memphis. Minnesota could straight up win out here. And if that's the case, if Minnesota wins out, I mean, they're absolutely catching the Grizzlies. But let's look at the Warriors, their remaining schedule here. I mean, we could be looking at Minnesota in the 5 seed. I don't think anybody's catching the Lakers again with like 6-7 games left. I don't think they're playing they're catching 2.5. Although I will say, this is not a fun schedule for the Lakers. For the Warriors. The Warriors have the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Rockets. Then they get the Suns, Blazers, and Spurs, and then they get the Clippers. So I mean, Minnesota's not losing again. So I think if we look at, again, I know I'm bouncing around a lot. If we look at the standings one more time, I think this is how it's going to play out. We're going to go OKC, the 1 seed, Houston, the 2 seed. Denver plays tonight. I imagine they rest some guys, right? They're playing San Antonio, but their guys played a ton of minutes last night. I think Denver holds on to the 3 seed. We'll have to let's actually look at the Lakers schedule. Sorry, I know we're bouncing around a lot here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but man, my computer is fucking tweaking there we go. It's like too many graphics. So the Lakers here, they've got the Warriors tomorrow night, right? Warriors tomorrow night, TNT game. Then, okay, at home against the Pelicans, but then 2 against OKC, Dallas, Houston, Portland. Guys, there is a world maybe they can get caught. If Golden State wins this game against the Lakers, there's a chance Golden State, because then that's one game down the stretch. There is a real chance Golden State or Minnesota ends up in the 4 seed when all is said and done. But because I think it's going to go OKC, Houston, Denver, 1, 2, 3. I think it's going to be hard for anybody to catch Houston, although Houston's schedule is not the easiest. But then, like, legit, Golden State, Minnesota, or the Lakers are going to have the 4 seed, which means we're also most likely getting a matchup that is like Lakers Warriors first round, Lakers Timberwolves first round. And I say all that. The Clippers, by the way, if they win their next game, which we'll look at their schedule, that actually brings them with the same schedule as Minnesota and Memphis, with just a half game behind the Warriors. So, like, even the Clippers are in play to still get a fucking 5 seed. And we see they've got the Pelicans tonight, with the Pelicans already shut down Zion and everybody else on their team. And then 2 against Dallas, both at home, I believe, both at home against Dallas. Then at home against San Antonio, Houston, and then on the road against Sacramento and Golden State. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, again, so much gross shit that we're watching this like tanking season, but the West is still wide open here. And I don't know, like, who I think, like, the Lakers obviously the favorite to be the 4 seed because they have that 2-game gap. But I would not be stunned with Minnesota's schedule if we, get to the end of next week and is hosting the first round of a playoff series, and there's going to be good teams going home in the first round. You're asking if Dallas can get to 8. I don't think so. So Dallas is 6.5 games back. So no, they can't. But Dallas is pretty much a 9 or a 10. I mean, Phoenix is not winning another game, I don't think. So I think more likely what we see is Memphis play one of the Clippers, Timberwolves, or Warriors in the 7-8 matchup. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the margin of error is so small where, like, the Clippers could end up hosting a first round playoff series or the away team in a play-in game. But Memphis will play, most likely, I'm assuming Memphis falls to 7 or 8. Memphis will play one of Minnesota, Golden State, Timberwolves, or I'm sorry, one more time. Memphis will play one of Minnesota, Clippers, Warriors, probably in that first 7-8 matchup. And then you'll most likely have Mavericks, Kings. And then listen, Mavericks, they got Gafford back, they got Lively back. I don't know. Yeah, Joker Rock. There we go. You'll at least get 2 play-in games. For sure. That's all Memphis wants, is at least 2 more games. So yeah, man, the West is going to be crazy. The West is going to be crazy. And to think, like, there's a chance Warriors, Lakers play in the first round. One of those teams is going home pretty early, And we've just seen now Minnesota has beaten Denver so many times in a row at this point that if that is a first round matchup, that's kind of crazy. You could also see Clippers against Houston in the first round, Minnesota against Houston, Golden State against Houston. And we saw, like, I know we didn't do a show yesterday, but we literally called this out and then it happened the other night. Where I believe Memphis does own their pick. Yeah, I thought so. Unless, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, we called this out the other night where it's like, what is Houston's offense going to look like when we get into crunch time of these playoff games? And then we saw it. In that game against the Lakers the other night. Jalen Green got benched down the stretch. And Jalen Green has been one of, like, their best offensive players the last, like, 2 months. He's been on a heater. And he got benched. So I think they're going to have a tough time finding buckets. It says it goes to the Wizards. Oh, Grizz pick to the Wizards. All right, there we go. Thank you, everybody. Good work. Anyways, I'm very excited for the playoffs to just start. But it's going to be, I think we're going to have some fun, man. I think we're going to have some fun. On the East side of things, I just want to point out the Celtics have been on an incredible run here. They have won 9 in a row. There's something, I don't know the last time they've lost a road game. I feel like it's been forever. They're on pace to probably get to 60 wins at this point. The Cavs getting that win kind of shut the door on that 1 seed. So we are going to be looking at Cavs, Celtics, Knicks as the 1, 2, 3. And then I do think the 4, 5, 6 is what it looks like right now. I know the Bucks are only a game back on the Pistons. I think the Pistons have the tiebreaker in this one. But it looks like we're going to get Pacers, Pistons in the first round, Knicks and Bucks in the first round. Magic and Hawks here are basically tied. Magic have some percentage points ahead of them. So that looks like the 7-8 matchup. And then we got Heat and Bulls there in the 9-10 matchup. And then who knows? Who knows what happens with those garbage teams? So that's what we got going on over there. Let's see. Can we find a matchup tonight that's as exciting as last night? We do have the Knicks on a back-to-back against the Cavs, which could be fun. That could be a fun one. As long as the teams are trying. I know Karl-Anthony Towns missed last night, so I'm curious if that was a rest because they had the back-to-back and they're like, we can beat Philly and rest our guys. Also, I mentioned this on Monday. I think Jalen Brunson has been cleared for basketball activities. I don't think that means he's going to play tonight, but he should be back soon. We've got Charlotte at Indiana. Let's go. Wizards against Kangs. Let's go. Celtics 10.5-point favorites against the Heat. You got Houston at Utah. Weirdly, not that important, actually, Dallas and Atlanta. Denver only 8.5 points over San Antonio. I'm curious, or favored over San Antonio. Curious who goes. Second ESPN game. This is fun. Detroit against OKC. That should be a fun one. I know the game doesn't really matter for OKC, but good test for the Pistons there. Should be a good one. So that's what we got going on. For tonight's action. I'm getting excited though. I'm ready for playoff basketball. I'm ready to be doing some playback here when we get to like the Western Conference playoffs and just firing up games. We're going to be doing some MLB playback as well. So I'm excited. I'm sure Sneeps and Weisberg are firing up for the Celtics Heat tonight. I'm sure Stan will be in the chat just ripping bongs and yelling. It'll be good. It'll be good stuff. So make sure you tune in to playback tonight for Celtics Heat. Let's go over to Pistons, maybe your playoff team, Joker Rock. I think they're going to be everybody's playoff team unless your team is playing them. I think people are going to be excited for that. Let's go over to SORARE here because we're gonna do some celebrating here. There's our guy, Stan. Hell yeah, Stan. Let's go see what we shipped over in the SORARE streets. So on the MLB side of things, let's look at the daily contest. We don't need to look at the bi-weekly because I'm getting my ass kicked in that one. Let's look at Tuesday. April Fool's, Zakarian's a champion. Look at this lineup. Michael King, starting pitcher for the San Diego Padres, dropped a 40-point. We got Jeff Hoffman of the Toronto Blue Jays. He got a save. Yandy Diaz, he scooped up 10 points. We got a Lowe, shout out Zach Lowe. How about Brandon Lowe? He dropped 33 last night with a big old dong. Kyle Tucker dropped 31. Ian Happ was 6. And then Shane Bazzy Boy for the Tampa Bay Rays dropped 42. Look at this leaderboard, BT Dubs. This shit wasn't even close. Just a 10-point cushion over there. 10-point cushion, just straight cooking with gas. First place. What does first place get? Let's go see. Let's go claim our rewards. Let's do it now, shall we? Let's claim the rewards. Let's see. First place. We get a star card. Now, we're going to open it now, DJ Pink Chill. We also picked up 315 Essence, which is going to allow us to craft. Now, let me give you a heads up here. These are our options for this is what we can pull. All right, these are in the tier 1 in the star cards. Ready? Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Allrise, Judge, Bobby Witt Jr., Juan Soto, Ellie De La Cruz, Fernando Tatis Jr., Corbin Carroll of the D-backs, or Mookie Spooky Betts. All right, those are our options here. Let's see how we did. Shall we? Let's do it. Reveal the card. Here we go. Come on. Tap to reveal. Reward time. Let's go. Outfield. He's American. Oh, Corbin Carroll. Big dubs. Now, I'll be honest, guys. Corbin Carroll's probably the one that I wanted the least out of all of those. However, it's still a tier. It's still a star. All right. That's immediately my most expensive card. Shout out Kyle Tucker, though. Kyle Tucker, he got us there last night. He got us. Devers is not there. Because he's not got a hit yet. Let's go. Let's do some crafting, though. And then we'll build my my daily lineup for tonight. Let's go build. All right. So we've got. Wait, why didn't it? Oh, there we go. 1275. All right. Let's do a craft. Pumping essence. Pump it. Here we go. What if this was... Oh, it's tweaking out. It's tweaking out, bro. It's tweaking out hard. Hard. Bro. Too much. Too much. All right, let's do a hard refresh. Let's see if that helps. Yo, what happened? Come on, SORARE. Tech issues. All right, I guess we're just gonna find out. We're just gonna find out. Wait, what's ass? What's ass? Too much essence, I guess. Too much essence. All right, let's go see. Let's go see if we can figure out. Let's look at my cards. Who did we get here? Charlie Morton. Okay, Chuck. Let's go Chucky Morton, kid. I'll take it. I'll take Chucky Morton. He's a good pitcher, right? Well, he's not a good pitcher. He's a fine pitcher. He throws frisbees. He's got a lot of movement. All right, little Chucky Morton, Corbin Carroll. We'll take it. Rugged and rigged, Snoopaloop. Rugged and rigged. Let's go build a lineup here today. Let's go see what we can do in the dailies. Also, early lock today. The shit locks in 3 hours, so make sure you're firing up. All right, I already started. Ryan Pepois. Also, Clay Holmes is starting, so we threw Clay Holmes in as a relief pitcher there. And then, honestly, for the flex spot, even though it's against the Orioles, I think we're going to throw old crotchet face in there, Garrett Crochet, as another starter. So we're going to use 3 starters. 3 starters right there. The lower the serial number, the worse the card. Wait, DJP, Corbin Carroll's really good at baseball. I don't know if that's what you're confused about. Corbin Carroll's really good at baseball. So I'm not worried about that. He's pretty good. I haven't looked at matchups tonight. Let's see who. I'll do this quickly. Well, I'll do this quickly because I need to figure out who the hell we're playing. Let's go look at some over-unders. Let's do some MLB starting lineup projected. All right, so we got Reds and Rangers at 8.5. Reds seem to be favored there. We got Royals and Brew Crew 7.5. Cardinals and Angels 8.5. Pittsburgh. Oh no, Paul Skeen's on the mound, so my Rays are dead. Twins and White Sox thunderstorming over there. Blue Jays and Natties. That's 8.5. So we can do some Blue Jays. We could probably get some Natties in there too against Easton Lucas. Wow. Luis Castillo against Scooble, 6.5 total. Cubs and A's. We want Jeffrey Springs, Jameson Taillon. A's slight faves there, but that's a 9.5, 9 total. Rockets and Giants. We got guards and pads. Sharks, Eflin and the O's and Crotchet. Clay Holmes against Gillespie. And then we got Rockies at the Phillies. Yeah. All right. So it's a good pitching night today. It's okay, DJP. It's okay. Same age as us. All right, let's do it. Let's figure out our corner infielder here. We got Paulie Goldschmidt, Alex Bregman. We probably just throw Brent Rooker in there. We'll throw Brent Rooker in there. A's have a good matchup against the Cubs. Cubs for our middle infielder. We got Volpe, Trevor Story, Brandon Lowe. Gonna try to stay away from the Skeens, right? I think we probably just throw I don't know, maybe Anthony Volpe in there. Who's pitching for the Diamondbacks? I skipped the Yanks, I think. I skipped the Skanks on that one. Hold on, let me find. Yankees are Zach Gallen. Yanks are where do they have? They got Volpe hitting 5th probably. Let's do a little Volpe. That's fine. Outfielder, I think, we throw Carroll in there. We throw Carroll in there, and then we throw Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker must die. I think that's what we do. That's a fun lineup. There we go. We got Ryan Pepois, Clay Holmes, Brent Rooks, Volpe, Carroll, Crotchet, Kyle Tucker. Let's go. Oh, that feels good. That feels good. All right, there you have it, babies. There you have it. If you guys want to jump in our Splash Sports contest, let's go see what that's looking like. And then we'll get on out of here, boys and girls. We'll get on out of here. Let's go see. This is what the splash is looking like. How many entrants so far? It's early. 13 entrants. I think we hit like 70 last night, which was pretty sick. I think I snuck in. Last night was crazy for fantasy points. This is going to be one of the higher scoring game weeks I think we've probably seen in a while. But let's drop this in there. And then, yeah, we can talk about that as well, Regulator. It's good to see Steve. Well, hold on. I'm not going to try to slander anybody. Anyways, let's go look at last night's contest here. Let's go look at recent here. Yeah, 63. I thought we hit 70. Let's go see. I think I snuck into 10th, maybe. Ninth there with 294 because of Joker. But we had a guy named Poochie. We had a tie for first between Poochie and Aidit Cooks. They both dropped 321. Wow. Jokic, Denny, Jimmy Butler, IQ, Wendell Carter. Wow, IQ got there, huh? How many points did IQ have? 34. Yeah. But look at that. Jokic with 98. Denny was 72. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. Yeah, did you guys buy packs? I saw they had I saw that there's quite a few left up for grabs right now, right? I think that's the only thing I saw. You have $60 of credits on NBA, but it only covers 50%. Would you buy something in NBA and try to sell it? Snoop, I wouldn't. Does the credits work for MLB too or only NBA? The marketplace is so bad right now. What I would do is either buy something that you actually would play with next season. I guess you could buy something and then just try to sell it back. They don't carry over. Damn. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. The market is pretty bad for NBA right now. The other thing you could do is try to buy a guy on a playoff team and then hopefully sell him once the playoff things are announced. That could be another angle you take at it. But yeah, I tuned into that stream for a little bit yesterday. But it was just funny when I tuned in. There was 30 straight seconds of dead air, and I was like, "What is going on?" I think they were looking up something, but it made me LOL. But you're right; it was good to see Steve. Also, listen, I think anybody. Wait, that sounds more slanderous than I mean it. I don't mean anybody, but if you collect a Top Shot at any point, I think you're now eligible to work at Dapper. You see, the OTM bros. TJ and Neil are both working for doing some freelance, I think, or some contract work from Dapper. Yeah, Tandy Man's over there. The Badge County. Is Badge County still a thing? Are they still doing stuff? The only Top Shot stuff in my algorithm right now is that guy Rock, Big Red Dog. I don't know, whatever his name is, who was doing the legendary stuff. That was uncomfortable. I'm glad that's over with. That was uncomfortable. That made everybody. It's like you saw. You were at the dinner table and dad hit mom or something. I did not like seeing that. No, they're not getting paid in moments. I hope they're actually getting paid. I remember those days. You got paid in packs. Remember the giveaways? Although it seems like vibes are pretty good over there outside of the pack drop, drastically not selling out. But I hope you got everybody seems jacked up for the fast break. Although I didn't realize if you won fast break, it's in credit, so you're not actually you have to buy moments and stuff. You have to wash it first. You have to wash it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just wear a t-shirt, man. That's all you gotta do. All right, gang. I think we're gonna call it there. Good stuff. Stay tuned. Playback tonight. Hoop Sense dropping tomorrow. NBA Bet back tomorrow. We'll have some SORARE MLB tomorrow. And honestly, you got to be tuning into the SORARE MLB. You want to know why? Because I won. Because first place king. Also, shout out DJ Local. I'm pretty sure he's got a fire lineup going on right now. A $10. All right, guys. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. We outs.